Okay, here we go, World of Tanks, and I am driving my Tier 7 American Tank Destroyer on the Sand River map, and we are defending on an assault mission. Now, if you go to take a look in the chat there, you'll see that I said I've won every game I've played today. And then I have a little bit more to add, except for the games in this particular tank, which is absolutely the case. I was 0 for 3 in this tank when I queued up for this particular match. Now, matchmaking is not very good for me right now. A lot of Tier 9s, Tier 8s in there, but there's also a lot of Tier 7s as well. So, and XVM says it's pretty much toss-up here. So let's see what I can do. Now I'm starting the match off by driving into the cap circle and knocking down all the buildings in here, and I'm doing that for a very specific reason. This is going to keep the enemy from being able to drive into the cap circle and use these buildings for cover. So if we run into a situation, yeah, there we go. Good hit into the T-37. I'm looking for shots on whatever I can get shots on here, obviously. And no idea where that one went, but since he's going to sit up there, let's take another shot at him. So, and I bounce. So the T-43 takes the sensible route and goes ahead and backs down the slope there. So I'm looking again. I'm looking to see what I can do with this. I've got the cap circle cleared out, but the T28 HTC. This is again. This is the reward tank from completing the second tier of personal missions. But anyway, the HTC it's an interesting tank. It almost drives more like a heavy tank than it does a tank destroyer, and because of that, it's not really well suited to this type of map. Just not. It's just not really. Well, I won't say it's slow. It's certainly a lot faster than the T28 or the T95, but on the other hand, it does not rotate, does not traverse as quickly as either of those tanks will. It traverses very, very slowly. The advantage that this particular tank has is that, yeah, I'm looking for a shot on the T-37, just not getting it. And I'm also looking for shots, well, anything I can get, but. Oh, hello, that T-43 is back. Can I see him? Oh, yes I can. There we go. So anyway, this is not really the T28 HTC's element here. This is another bounce off of him. Wow. This is it's much better suited to being a top tier or a mid-tier tank, especially if you can get on a city map with it. Simply because, and let me, well, there you go. You can see the gun. The gun traverse is actually pretty good. It's got a good swing to either side. And if you can hide those two weak spots, those two big machine gun turrets on the right and left side of the tank, you've got really, really good armor. However, the again, this particular artillery just took a punt at me. They missed though. Ah, yeah, stuck another one in on the T-43. So the armor is actually pretty good, especially if you can angle it, and the gun traverse lets you do that. If you're on a city map, you can hide one side of your tank behind a building or some other hard cover. Swing the gun around, and then you can do that. And you can bounce shots just left and right. Now, I don't know what this RU-251 was thinking he was going to do, but it worked for him because he managed to avoid my return fire there. So again, I'm just looking at, any kind of long range shots that I can get on anything. just give support to the guys up in front of me. And again, the thing is, I'm driving a tier 7 tank in a tier 9 match, and there's enough tier 9s on the enemy team that if they come popping out, oh, that was a lucky shot. Threaded that one in. I will admit all day, yeah, lucky shot. So, the tier 9s and a lot of the tier 8s can just punch through my armor pretty well. So I'm sitting back and taking a sniping role. Now, at this point, I've decided, okay, sniping is over, so I go ahead and I line up a shot on this KV-13 that's coming around, and I went ahead and auto-aimed because when I come over the top, I just want to get my gun on target and nail him. And I don't know what he was thinking. If he just swung to the right, or to my right a little bit, then he might have been able to get around me, and I would have been in bad shape. But okay, so anyway, I've got 3 kills so far. I've done about 2,400 damage, and I'm looking to move down here and support this Type 4 Heavy against, oops, Waffle Tractor. Gotta shoot at him. Gotta be careful with this guy because he can really mess me up. He can punch through my armor with absolutely zero trouble. So I move forward. I'm trying to get under his gun when I notice the T28 2 is making a move on the Type 4 Heavy, and he's giving me just enough of his tank, and I go ahead and take the shot. So now I'm looking at that Waffle Tractor over there, and I do ping for help simply because, oops, already took another punt and just missed, simply because the last thing I really want to do is get myself out in front of a Waffle Tractor in a tier 7 tank and just let him work me over. So I'm just going to sit here and nudge back and forth a little bit, and let's go ahead and take the chance. And I took a blind shot and I missed. Well, I don't know if he was still there, but at this point it's a question of where did he go and what's he doing. So I go ahead and load an HE round, because the HE on this particular tank is not too bad. And going back to sniping, this is not a sniper. The gun is not particularly accurate at ranges, as you have seen. It's certainly good enough for hitting weak spots at close distances. And there's the Waffle Tractor again. And I don't know what he's planning. Okay. But it looks like our artillery launched one into him. And again, I don't know what this guy is thinking, because right there, comes out in front of me, and my tracks eat the shot from him. So, getting ready to line up another shot, and oh, just completely donked that one. So, he's down below me now. He's just fired. I've auto-aimed, and come over the top, 4%, easy finish. So, what to do now? Well, there's only 3 enemies left on the other team. There's the Tortoise, the T-37, and of course the artillery. So it's time to push forward. 2-minute warning going up, but that's not so much for us as it is the enemy team. T-37 fired a hair late on that, but I still managed to sneak it in. T-37's down. And that is my 6th kill. And there goes the Tortoise. Artillery takes a punt at me. And for all, well, practical purposes, this match is over because we are not going to find that artillery. So, with that, let's go to the post-game stats. Overall, hey, pretty good match. Top Gun, Fire for Effect, Duelist, which actually surprised me. I only took a couple of hits, but the Waffle Tractor, and I think it was the RU-251. I'm not sure, but anyway, Bruiser on the other hand, because I was dealing out some damage, and then a Mastery badge here, Ace Tanker badge here, 3,800 experience earned for that particular battle. So let's take a look at the team score here, and sure enough, there it is, 1,500 base XP, along with the everything else I did. The rest of my team, no real complaints. It wasn't like we got chewed up and spit out. But the AMX 5100, on the other hand, I would have expected him to do a lot more, especially given again his tier versus mine. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time for most of the match. So on the enemy team, well, the T37 did fairly well, and he even did a pretty good amount of spotting damage there. Enemy Tiger 2 dished out some damage. So did the Waffenträger. He just at the end of the match, though, he just he didn't really have any options left, I'd say. So you can't really fault him for that. But again, he did a fair bit of damage. Just wasn't able to pick up the kills. The RU251, oh, where is he? There he is. He did a pretty good, fairly decent job as well, but just got himself pinned down. And unfortunately, at that map mode is just not that good for light tanks. So, going to the detailed reports, fired 22 shots, and as expected from a gun like this, 15 of those actually hit. Of the 15 shots that hit, 13 pins, so not too bad there. 3,500 damage, and most of that was done. Well, about 2/3 of that was done from long range. Blocked 855 damage from armor. I took 4 hits, only one penetrating hit. Of course, lucky the lucky Traxated bounce from the Waffenträger, and even picked up a fair bit of assistance damage. Probably a little from spotting and a little from tracking the target. So, but what it really this tank, however, it's not a moneymaker. As you see, I made 35,000 credits shooting at higher tier targets, and after I repaid for my ammo, well, only 11,000 credits. So I received 1,500 base experience. Of course, that was my ×2 for the day. Personal mission payout. I picked up TD15-3.3, and it was just a do-over on that. So that was destroyed at least 2 enemy tanks at least 300 meters away, and also picked up the secondary on that mission, so picked up some extra credits for it. So anyway, with a total 3,800 XP to take away. So what's the takeaway here? Well, I guess it's pretty simple. You can do well in just about any tank in a higher tier game, but sometimes you can't really play towards the tank's strengths. You've got to play a bit more towards, you got to play a bit more cautiously, a bit more campy, and basically you do what you can with what you got, and really that's what it comes down to. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the replay, and I will talk to you later. Bye.